right. Hello, hello. Welcome to Land Stories Live. This is the first show that we've ever done today. And our mission here in Land Stories Live is we want to help hundreds of people like you own a land, maybe even thousands of people eventually. And more importantly than that, we want to tell your story, your land story. And so, my friends, we're going to be doing this on Mondays and Tuesdays around 11 a.m. Central and around 4 p.m. Central on Tuesdays. And so we're going to try this. Hopefully it goes great. We're planning on launching a podcast. We're going to turn these shows into audio format as well as having exclusive just audio podcast episodes. So we're so glad you are with us on this journey. And just to give you a little bit of a background, we really consider ourselves a family-run business. We are dedicated to helping you fulfill your dreams of buying land that you deserve. Whether you want to hunt, whether you want to camp, whether you want to fish or off-road or spend family time together, we are in this business of trying to help you create memories for generations to come. Now, I want to tell you a little bit of a story about why. Why did we start investing in land, and why do we feel this mission is so important to us? Well, I'll tell you, it all started for me back when I lived in Seattle. I'm originally from California, out in Southern California. Laguna Hills is where I went to high school. And I went up to Seattle for college, and my wife and I met there. And when I was in college, my folks had quite a bit of residential real estate, houses. And they had bought one out in Manchester, Washington, which is across the bay from Seattle. And the gentleman that ended up renting the house was in the Navy. And so we appreciated his service. This was back in 2001, 2002, and he got called up for the Gulf War. So he's gone for months and months and months at a time. And we weren't collecting rent. And he had changed some stuff in the house. And we weren't big fans of that, but we wanted to support him while he was serving the country. And due to some of those collection problems and issues, it just really kind of burned me out on real estate. And as my wife and I got married, I said, it'd be kind of cool, but gosh, it takes so much time. I knew the time it would take to have that kind of business. Fast forward a few years later, my wife and I had our youngest daughter. She was born super duper duper premature. She was born 12.4 ounces. She was less than a pound when she was born, our little miracle girl. And you can probably see in the background there with my family photos, my family. And the thing that really changed for me is I ended up starting another podcast that actually was specific for financial freedom for doctors. If you ever want to check it out, it's the Freedom Formula for Physicians, because of the experiences we had out in the NICU. And I heard about investing in land as part of that journey of having my podcast. And I thought, wow, it sounds pretty cool, but man, do I really want to get back in the real estate game? And as I started exploring it, I really found out that I had some knowledge and some skills that really just seemed to tailor well for this business. And then as we started selling our first few properties, what really made it for me was people were excited about land. And we come in often with a lot of our land, and people, let's say a property costs $5,000 or $10,000. A lot of people don't have that cash. But what they can do is they can put maybe a few $100s down, and they can make monthly payments, maybe $65 a month or $100 a month or $300 a month on a property, so that they can own it. And people were just so happy, and I was getting so much in the way of great feedback that I said, man, I love this. What an awesome way to help people. And so we've done more and more and more of it. And we now have something like 40 properties are in our inventory. It's frankly probably a little bit of addiction for me. It's as much a hobby as it is a business. So I love talking about land. I love learning about land. And what you're going to see as we go on later today, one of my team members, Christy Lyman, she's from Houston originally. And she is someone that has been wonderful as an addition to our team. She loves to surf and loves wildlife, and we'll talk more about Christy when she's on. And she's going to be featuring one of our properties out in Arizona and talking through it. And we're going to meet tomorrow Mia as part of the team. Mia's going to talk about one of our Colorado properties and what's happening in Colorado. And perhaps in the future, we'll meet my wife, and my wife might talk about Oregon properties. She's from the Northwest and loves the Northwest, so you're going to have an opportunity to meet the whole team. And then the other thing that I wanted to do today was to walk you through, where do we have properties? What does that look like? So I'm going to share my screen here. So this is our website, Generation Family Properties. You can go to genfamproperties.com. You can check out all of our listings. If you go and you do a search here, you could look to see down payments, states, whether it's available or sold. You can look at different sizes to create a filter to go and find our available properties. One of the properties that we have available right now, we have 3 featured listings. These are some of our latest listings. This one right here is 10 acres out in Park County. And what I love about this property is you can see it has gorgeous views. It has trees on it. You can see it has a little bit of a slope to the property. And some areas, are a little more flatter, of course, but it's amazing to look at. You can look at our website here. You can see a video that our photographer took. You can see the taxes. We got a Google Map link to the property. Let's check that out. So you can see it's right here. The property boundaries is something like this. We have plat maps that we can show you. So you get onto the property here off of Kewaunee Trail. And if I zoom out, I'll show you kind of where this is located. So you can see there's Agate Mountain right here. We're surrounded by peaks. This is a bunch of mountains all around this property. So 360 degrees worth of mountain views. There's Pikes Peak a little further to the east. There's Colorado Springs. If we do a directions to Colorado Springs, let's see how far it is. You're about 2 hours from Colorado Springs. The nearest city, you can see there's Guffey over here. Hartselle, we've owned some properties over here in Hartselle, kind of over here in Hartselle. This one's a little further south. You can see that the National Forest, Pike National Forest, is over here as it goes around. You got the Sangre de Cristo mountain range that goes here. Denver is a little further to the north up here in this particular corner. Excuse me. Fairplay is the county seat out in Park County. Park County looks something like this if I was to draw a rough map. So it's a big chunk, and you can see there's all this land here. So there's mountainy land in Park County. This one is particularly unique. You can see a lot of this county doesn't have trees, but this property does. So it's one of the few places where you actually do have trees on, which I think makes it unique. For this particular property, we are looking for, it's one of our more expensive ones, about $30,000 cash, which if you're a cash buyer, we are willing to negotiate some. So send us your best offer. If you might want to buy this property in cash. Alternatively, if you want to do owner financing, we're looking for less than 10% down, just $2,200 to get started, of which $249 a document fee and then $2,000 of equity. And then we're looking for about $500 a month. And these are minimums. If you can do more, you can actually save yourself some time and money. So we'll talk about owner financing in another future episode of this live show. You can see here down at the bottom, we always have some great property details, like what's the subdivision, what's the size, what's the pricing, what are the parcel numbers. In this case, this is actually 2 separate parcel numbers. You see we have the legal description, we have the Google Map link down here, the latitude, longitude of each of the 4 corners. So this is the northwest corner, the northeast corner, the southwest corner, the southeast corner of the property. We got the taxes, the zoning, which one of the cool things about Park County is you actually can build a tiny home. So 200 square feet is the minimum. People often ask about the mobile tiny homes. Those you can't do here. You actually have to set a foundation for your tiny home, but the good news is you can do it. So definitely this is a great property to check out. Some other cool resources that we have is we have some blogs. And so if you look at our blog tab here, you'll see how to buy land, 7 essential tips. So we have 7 essential tips on how to buy land. We have one here that Christy published on fishing in Klamath County. We have another one that Christy wrote here in June on top 3 things to do in Park County. So if you're interested in Park County, definitely check out this blog post that Christy wrote. There's some really cool stuff in here. She highlights 3 of these places, which I thought it'd be fun to take a look at. This is Kenosha Pass. If you ever have the chance to drive from Denver, 285, you can see, meets about right here by I-70 in Denver. This is a beautiful drive, and 285 has this gorgeous pass as you come out into Jefferson. So definitely make sure to check that out, Kenosha Pass. The National Forest, Pike National Forest, we talked about. Another really cool location that Christy highlighted on the blog is Montgomery Reserve. See this beautiful waterfall. You're up in the mountains here. This is northwest of Fairplay. So our property we were talking about is down south here, south of Hartselle. So the reservoir's there, National Forest here, where we were just talking about of Kenosha Pass is up here. So all of those things are close. You can see there's lots of lakes and fishing spots, which we will feature in a future podcast and our live show. And so my friends, that wraps up the episode for right now. We are going to be talking more about the Arizona properties. I'll introduce you to Christy just in a little bit later today. So thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you, and we hope one day to tell your land story. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.